To overcome child sexual abuse takes courage and healing, and to write about it in a memoir so others can find healing as well takes an overwhelming amount of courage, and our next guest did just that. Marsha Barth of Berks County is in our author spotlight. She's part of our Child Abuse Prevention Week here on the show. Her book, The Shattering, recounts the true and tragic story of her childhood and how she found hope. And I know for you, hope is such a key word here. Why don't you tell us about what we'll find in this book?
Well, in the book, it's written in novel form, so it's very easy reading, and it's just happy stories, sad stories, but true stories. It's more a story of the power of love, the promise of hope, and the inspiration of knowing that what has happened to you in your life does not define who you are.
Good for you. I can tell that just in you talking to me just for those few minutes. But again, this is the true story of what happened to you. Did you stay silent for a long time?
I stayed silent until I met my fiance, which is my husband of 41 years.
Very good. And so maybe that was just a healing
I told him
relationship for you?
because I actually did not want him to feel cheated.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And he only loved me more, so.
Oh my gosh, wow. Was it difficult to do this, to put this in writing?
Well, I had done conference and retreats once you go into the healing journey, you're able to go forward, and that's part of the healing. So it was very healing to write it. I had spoke about it so often up to then, I can't say it was that difficult to write.
Wow, but still, I mean, from the moment you probably started to open up about this, I'm sure holding something inside for so long, I'm sure it was, one, difficult to share, and two, but also maybe a great relief to share it.
It is. The greatest thing is letting people know the joy of overcoming, Amy. Once they know that they can overcome, the joy of overcoming supersedes the pain, because the pain and hurt is able to be taken away from the joy of going back. I get the opportunity to go back and conquer the very thing. See, we don't remain victims, and we don't remain just a survivor. We're going to be overcomers, conquerors, and victors.
Good for you.
You get to go back and take back what tried to destroy you.
You know what I love is that you are sharing this, that you're talking about this and really starting a dialogue, because as you mentioned to me right before we started, you said you hear people talk about child abuse. It's even less comfortable to say child sexual abuse.
Yes.
What do you think is the biggest misrepresentation?
I think the biggest misrepresentation is the long-term devastating effects, because the child is shattered, the soul is raped. There has to be a healing process. That's to bring awareness, not to bring depression over that. The statistics show so clearly. I know it's been mentioned 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys, but that's based on a 40% report rate.
Good point.
So you have to, and every 2 minutes in America, there's a sexual assault. So unless we see the statistics, we do not become aware, and if we do not become aware, we don't take the seriousness. My goal has been to go out and reach the 60 million estimated child sexual abuse survivors with the hope that they can heal.
And I know that's so key for you, that hope for the healing, and saying
Yes.
you can overcome this, you can move
Yes.
forward and become a whole person.
Yes.
And it doesn't define you. Biggest question, you know, for folks who maybe can benefit from this, where can we find your book?
The best, they can be ordered from bookstores, but my website is Marsha Barth, M-A-R-S-H-A, barth.com, and it can be ordered there, and
Very
I can get it right
good.
out to them.
And I was on your website, and you just have lovely things on your website, you know, not just about ordering the book, but just to help
Yes.
people overall. Marsha, it was lovely to talk with you.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate you
Amy.
sharing your story
Thank you
with
so
our
much,
viewers
Amy.
today.
Thank